Hi guys, my name is Matsuki, and today I'd like to address a lot of concerns the community has with Call of Duty Vanguard, while also giving in my own 2 cents. So Vanguard is running on the same engine as Modern Warfare. This could mean a number of things, like similar footstep audio, dead silence as a field upgrade, same movement, similar lighting, but let's not get our panties in a bunch. We still need to see gameplay to actually analyze and critique things. Until then, let's not jump on any bandwagons. Which leads me to my first huge concern. Pre-orders. Why that? Well, I think that it's a huge issue because pre-orders are available right now, and all you've seen is a small trailer, mainly showcasing cinematics. If you're pre-ordering now, Activision is going to have your cash, and you won't be able to persuade them into making changes before launch. That the community wants, of course. So my advice is wait until the open beta. It's free, and it comes out every year. COD YouTubers also usually give away free beta codes to thousands of people, so look out for that too. But yeah, what concerns Matsuki? What should we hold back pre-ordering for? I'm glad you asked. Perhaps loud footsteps may change your mind. I and many others agree that Modern Warfare's footsteps were just a little on the loud side, like you can actually hear people through walls, ceilings, and even buildings at sometimes. There was actually a poll on Twitter by the Modern Warzone account asking, do you want dead silence in Call of Duty Vanguard? I ended up voting no, for a very good reason. You see, if footsteps are the same as Modern Warfare's, and they add a dead silence perk, it will become meta. People will need to use it if they want to just have a fair gunfight. And if they add another perk just for countering dead silence, so you can hear footsteps louder, it'll just become another issue like stopping power and Juggernaut from COD 4/MWR. These are called clutch perks. You need them or else you're going to be at a significant disadvantage. Now, I did make a video explaining why I hate dead silence as a Modern Warfare rusher. It was a year ago. I'll put it in the description if you guys actually are interested in it. But yeah, clutch perks. They're bad for variety, and there's a better alternative. Look, if the whole COD community doesn't even want loud footsteps to begin with, and the only reason for dead silence is to counter these loud footsteps, why not just make the footsteps quiet by default? And just not include dead silence at all. You solve the footstep problem and clutch perks aren't even needed. Takes out 2 birds with 1 stone. But yeah, I'll definitely make another video on footsteps and dead silence if the footsteps actually become a problem in Vanguard. But let's move on to our next big concern. So, the new mechanic, blind firing. To be completely honest, I'm not that worried about it being overpowered. If I had to guess, I think to blind fire, you'll actually need to be beside a corner or at a head glitch. You can high pine so you can stick your gun around it and spray. But since it's blind firing, I don't believe your bullets are actually going to be that accurate. Meaning, you'll only be good in close quarters. In my opinion, I think this is actually good news. Here's an example of where I think blind firing would actually be very useful in Modern Warfare. So on Grasna Raid, there's sometimes campers in these apartment rooms, especially this one. So if blind firing were to work the way I said, you could similarly to COD Ghosts go up to a corner, see an arrow indicator that you can actually lean around the corner, but in Vanguard's case, you just stick your gun around the corner and shoot. Since this is a very small room, you'd probably have an easy time of flushing the enemy out by killing them. This would also mean that you don't have to deal with claymores on the other side of door frames. So, I think blind firing could actually be utilized in a new anti-camper fashion. Sadly, we're actually going to need some gameplay to confirm any of this. But oh boy, next concern. So I've seen this mechanic receive a lot of backlash as of late, and that mechanic is Moveable Mounting. So basically you can mount on a table but also move left and right along it. And I assume you have better recoil while doing this. But I think there is a way this can actually be balanced so that it isn't a camper's dream mechanic. So maybe while you're mounted on a table or surface, your character only shows their shoulders and head, but when they're moving side to side, they get more recoil on their gun until they stop moving. So it would be a better way to reposition your mount instead of unmounting, crouching over to a new position, and then mounting back up again. It would just take out an extra step. Now mounting as a mechanic, I don't seem to have much of a problem with. My problems seem to only arise when the enemy is mounted but only shows their head, making it hard to notice them in the first place. Maybe mounting shouldn't give you extra recoil control unless you run a bipod. You'd be giving up an attachment slot, and a bipod realistically would raise your gun higher off the surface, resulting with the enemy being a bit taller so that they can actually see through their sights. Here's a real life example. Where is it? Come on. Hey, take this. What? Huh? Oh, thank you, man. And so he mounted. So yeah, that clip was actually really fun to make. I hope you all enjoyed it. But what do you guys think of my bipod suggestion? Would it raise your gun high enough to expose you even more? Again, the reason I like these changes is to help counter those players that are just hard to see and have less recoil. Personally, I really love these trade-offs. There was also another concern the community had with these blind firing and mounting mechanics, and that was how they are tied to camo challenges. I'm sort of with the vocal community on this one. I went for and earned Damascus in Modern Warfare, but holy fluff, mounting kills. They were always the last challenge I had to complete on every single gun. Why, you may ask? Well, you needed 100 mounted kills with assault rifles, 50 with SMGs, and so on. There's a lot. But yeah, what this challenge did was slow down your gameplay, because when you finally unlocked your mounted challenges, you tend to strictly grind for them since they take longer to do. Mounting requires you to be stationary also, so what this challenge also did was slightly ruin map flow. So yeah, no mounted kills or blind fire kills tied to camos this year would be fantastic. Now let's take a break from the community concerns and address a concern that I have for multiplayer. This one involves maps. To me, it seemed like everyone just accepted the fact that we'd be getting 1666 maps at launch, but there was another leak saying that we'd be getting dynamic weather. This definitely excited a lot of people, but I sadly got flashbacks back to Black Ops 4, when we got Arsenal Sandstorm and Night Firing Range. And that got me worried. Are these 16 maps in Vanguard all different maps, or are half of them weather variants? Because if I'm not mistaken, Black Ops 4 called their weather variants new maps. I really hope the weather is just something that maybe turns on after like 5 minutes in a match. I know Sledgehammer Games did something similar with their cool map evolution in Advanced Warfare. For example, that ski resort map in the DLC, I think it was the Gold Edition, but yeah, it had an avalanche that changed an entire lane. If Vanguard weather effects are like Advanced Warfare's, and the 1666 maps are all new, I could see a very, very healthy year for Call of Duty multiplayer. It really would be wonderful seeing Sledgehammer Games learn from their mistakes with COD World War II. World War II only had 9 maps at launch, it was pretty pitiful. But I could definitely see 16 new maps being possible this year if Treyarch are indeed working on zombies. That's a whole third mode Sledgehammer Games doesn't need to worry about. I'm genuinely excited. But yes, lastly, a smaller concern that I've seen is with Killstreaks. Yeah, apparently we're regressing yet again in the streak department. So that's maybe another reason why you might not want to pre-order Vanguard just yet. But yeah, Modern Warfare used Killstreaks that didn't even recycle through once you earned all of them. So, like, if I earned a UAV in one life, I couldn't earn it again in the same life. I'd have to die first. But also they were Killstreaks instead of Scorestreaks. What Scorestreaks do is they encourage players to play objectives to earn score. They promote moving. And then Cold War had the idea to add persisting streaks with cooldowns. Treyarch basically turned streaks into recharging specialist weapons and abilities. Yay! It was also a bad design decision. Some were OP, but more importantly, the dopamine rush from being on a big streak was just gone. It no longer mattered if you died 100 score off of a chopper or a hand cannon. You'd earn it pretty fast in your next life. Now I hope Sledgehammer Games doesn't do either of these flawed streak systems, but I do hope that they change Killstreaks back to Scorestreaks at the very least. And hey, I actually seen Xpert Fusion talking about this too in one of his recent videos, and he had a splendid idea. Basically, Scorestreaks, but reward players even more score for going and getting double kills, triple kills, and other pro-aggressive plays. I love that idea so much, and if you guys want to check out that video by Xpert Fusion, I'll leave it linked down in the description. So yeah, this is the end of the video. Hopefully all my points I've listed in it will help you reconsider pre-ordering Call of Duty games. I hear there's also a free Champion Hill Alpha for Vanguard on PlayStation next weekend, starting on the 27th to the 29th of August. The 27th is a Friday, by the way. I heard that it's only 20 gigabytes, so not a huge download. There will also probably be more betas and alphas next month too. Call of Duty did post a timetable, I guess. September 10th through 13th will be the first weekend, and it's only for PlayStation, and you actually have to buy the game to get into that beta. But the second weekend starts on September 16th and goes to the 20th, but the first 2 days, it'll be open to all platforms, but no crossplay. And then the 18th and 20th will have crossplay, I believe. But yeah, if you like the video, please drop a like. And if you like my style of content, consider subscribing and enabling that pesky bell notification. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, homies. Prepare for impact. Woohoo! Guys, it's Warzone. Maybe that is the new Warzone map. Huh. Could be. Or it could just be part of the campaign, but... yeah. November 5th. Awesome. So on Twitter I did say this video took a long time to make and my voice was getting really bad. So here's just a clip of it to entertain you guys, I guess. Some were OP, but more importantly, the dopamine rush from being on a big streak. My voice is dead.